What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. Let's get into Monday Night Raw from January 13th, 2024. A pretty solid show for the most part. Much better than last week, but it was still okay to decent. So, a decent show. Still kind of boring, but still decent. So, we kicked the show off with CM Punk. And so he gets on the mic. He puts over the first responders and fighters that's out there trying to protect California, LA from burning, from natural disasters. Then he did his usual, is it good to be alive on the Monday Night Raw? And then he started San Jose, California. So then he ended up putting over Seth Rollins. He talked about how he beat the Messiah, Seth Rollins. He said that last year he wasn't in the Royal Rumble, but it was his first televised match in WWE in over a decade. It didn't go his way. He tore his tricep back then. He separated it from the bone. And Punk's dreams, which were always so scary that people couldn't see them, he couldn't see them anymore. So then he taunts John Cena, and he said it's going to be him that's going to go to WrestleMania. He wants to point to that sign. He wants to make his biggest comeback in wrestling. He puts over John Cena for what he did last week. He said Punk sees that Cena has declared himself in the Rumble, and Punk is here to do just that. He said he's going to throw 29 other superstars over the top rope, whether they can see him or not. Then you'll hear his music. And then Punk tells them to play his music, but they don't. It's Seth Rollins. So Punk is pissed off. He's frustrated. So Seth Rollins comes out there, he gets on the mic, he says he knows Punk isn't happy to see him, and he shouldn't be surprised. Rollins said last week, win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter, he's still going to show up on Monday Night Raw. And he thought that he'd be the winner. He said that he would rather be a worse version of himself than any version of CM Punk. He said he's lost a bunch of big matches, title matches, WrestleMania matches, but last week was the worst loss of his career. Rollins has never been more disappointed that he underestimated CM Punk. He didn't get the job done on the biggest stage of his life. I don't see how being on Netflix is the biggest stage of your life. Come on, Seth. What are you doing, bro? But it is what it is. So Seth Rollins says that he's going to ruin Punk's redemption, and getting his WrestleMania dream. He said he's going to flush them down the toilet. He said Punk's not going to win the Rumble because he's going to win the Royal Rumble. So then Punk throws jabs at Seth Rollins, saying that it's every man for himself. All he sees is a guy who couldn't pin him. So he's trying to make it, he's trying to take the easy way out by throwing him over the top rope. So Drew McIntyre, he comes out and he basically tries to pit Seth Rollins and CM Punk against each other. He pokes fun at both of them. He basically just says that, Roman's the issue. He makes fun of Seth Rollins, and CM Punk talks a bunch of trash to McIntyre in the process. McIntyre says that Seth Rollins acts like a big leader, but everyone was doing their part in tribal combat. Seth Rollins was nowhere to be seen. Seth Rollins is worried about his selfish agenda and little match. And then he said he lost the match. It's pathetic. So McIntyre, my bad. Seth Rollins says he has no patience for Drew McIntyre. Punk says he has no patience for both Seth Rollins and McIntyre. He says he's out of time, and if one of the jerks wants to swing, he's right there. So Seth Rollins and CM Punk both won a triple threat match. Drew McIntyre, He goes down to the ring, but it's all a ruse. He says, nah, he's not going to do that. He says there's bigger problems going on. Roman Reigns is playing chess while everyone else is playing idiot checkers. While every other idiot is playing checkers. McIntyre is always reluctant, a reluctant hero, but he'll step up for the locker room. There's only one way for him to win the title before Roman Reigns does. Wait, there it is. He's going to see them at the Royal Rumble. So this is pretty cool. A lengthy way to kick off the show. This is about a 15 to 17-minute promo. It's fine. It makes sense. They're all top guys. We knew CM Punk and Rollins were going to enter in the Royal Rumble. It makes sense. As well as Drew McIntyre. So the Royal Rumble right now is stacked full of top guys. So you've got Roman, you got John Cena, you got CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and I can't remember the other, but I know you got like 6 top guys right there. So to me, that makes sense. I actually do like that. I just wish that the promo between these guys didn't last, that long. But it is what it is. Makes sense. Who wins the Rumble? Don't know. It's still 2 weeks away. But if I had to guess, put my money on it, it would probably be John Cena. It makes the most sense. So I think that would tell a better story. We could still get to Punk and Rollins at Mania. I think that's where they're going to go with that. I know some people have pitched Malachi Black and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, but I would save that for more of like a SummerSlam. That's what I would do. I would do Malachi Black Aleister Black and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam because it makes more sense. But I do think that Aleister will show up at the Rumble. I just do. Moving on. So this leads us into our first match of the night, which was Chad Gable versus Penta. Yes, Pentagon Jr. Yes. Penta Zero Mira. Yes. That Penta from TNA, at the time Impact, and yes, recently, not too long ago, a while ago, AEW. And they put him over big on commentary and all that. Michael Cole basically spoiled it by saying Chad Gable needs to put some fear or something on him. He needs to, fear his opponent. So, Pat McAfee also mentioned on commentary that he's seen Penta on television, talking about AEW. The match was great. This was a really good match. Chad Gable was the perfect opponent for Penta. The crowd was into it. The San Jose crowd, they kicked ass. They popped super hard in this shit. Penta did all his usual moves. He even ended up doing the arm breaker, what he now calls the sacrifice, and he ended up hitting the Penta driver for the 1, 2, 3. So I do like that. Makes perfect sense. Post match, he was interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and he basically cut a decent promo. So Penta says that this is his new home. He knows everyone's been waiting for this moment, but he wants to say something. The real truth is that he's waiting for this moment. He speaks in Spanish, and then Penta acknowledges his family in the front row, and Penta says this is a new era for WWE. So this is not only the Netflix era, but it's the Penta new era. So I do like that. Really good shit. I think Penta's gonna kick major ass. The debut was as perfect as you can get. I think Penta's gonna do very well in WWE. Better late than never. But I do wish that he could have got in WWE just a little bit sooner. But it's fine. I mean, he did do very well in TNA. They did. My bad. They did mention on commentary that being Michael Cole. They mentioned that he was TNA World Champion. So I think that happened in 2018. Yeah. 2018 That was 2017 or 2018, one of the two. But makes perfect sense. And I do think that Penta is going to fuck some shit up in WWE. Moving on. So, we get more Judgment Day stuff. So, Dom, he brings flowers to Liv Morgan. And Liv is like being nonchalant about it. So, Liv Morgan says that it wasn't just about being champion. It was about taking a piece of Rhea Ripley. And Liv Morgan did just that. So Dom has a bouquet of roses. He gives them to Liv Morgan. She says she's not mad, but she wants him to carry her bags and Raquel's from the car. And she wants to make sure that the valet is ready for them at the end of the night. So Dom doesn't think that she's mad at all. Finn Balor and JD McDonough and Carlito, they scoff. And then Dom offers to be at ringside for Finn Balor's match against Damian Priest. And then Finn Balor tells Dom he needs to worry about his girl. That was funny. So, cool stuff right there. Moving on. Sheamus defeats Ludwig Kaiser. We've seen this match 1,000 times. So, Sheamus wins via the bro kick. This was good. It was all right. So, Sheamus had a little stare down with Braun Breaker. They almost got into it, I think. No. That was later on in the show. My bad. That was later on in the show. My bad. I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'm sorry about that, guys. Moving on. So, Kathy Kelly, she's backstage with Seth Rollins. She mentions that he's facing Drew McIntyre next week. Seth Rollins says that Drew McIntyre has been needing him. Pause. Next week, he owes one for WrestleMania. Next week should be fun. So, Seth Rollins is about to walk off. He bumps into Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn says he heard Seth Rollins talking about how tough his loss was and is available to talk. Seth Rollins says it was a rough week, but it was great for Sami Zayn. So Sami Zayn is confused. Seth Rollins says his boy Roman Reigns has the Ulafala back. Is Sami going to keep helping Reigns, or will he help himself? And then Sami Zayn still looks confused. So I do like this. It does seem that they're going to lean in to Seth Rollins becoming a heel. It makes perfect sense. He's going to, slowly turn heel. That's always good. Rollins has been face for, I want to say, the last 2.5 years. Because he was a fucking heel in the pandemic. During the pandemic, he was a heel. So, yeah. So that's fun. This is interesting. Moving on. So, Karrion Kross, he is backstage. He exits Adam Pearce's office. He tells The Miz that the Wyatt Six have been moved to SmackDown. Kross warns Miz that he better not. Warns Miz that he better not have any had anything to do with that. Sami Zayn heads to the office. Kross stops him. The Miz mocks Sami Zayn for thinking he could be a world champion. Sami Zayn says he's going to ask for a match against Miz. Miz says it looks like they have a deal. They have to deal with Sami Zayn. But Karrion Kross says he's not doing anything with this. Okay, that's funny. That's funny. That's good for the Wyatt Six to be on SmackDown. That makes sense. Are they going to do anything, though? Probably not. They're probably going to do the same stuff that they've been doing. Just attacking random people for nothing. But that was originally their show anyway. That when Bray was, still alive and living among us, his show was SmackDown. So it's only fitting that they go back to SmackDown. So the Wyatt Six on SmackDown should be kind of fun. Hopefully. Moving on. So Gunther, he's out next. He says that he was impressed, but less impressed with the performances in the ring. Talking about last week's Netflix debut. Gunther wishes that they could have a roster that fulfills those high expectations. Everyone is fighting over a personal drama. Who's the head of the table? Who's the best in the world? Who cares? He said, the only prize we're fighting for is the World Heavyweight Championship. And I do like that. I really do. I like that. But Gunther, again, he's a work rate guy, but he's a really good work rate guy. But I've said that, I said this before, and I said it several times in my Raw reviews, that Gunther has to lose the World Heavyweight Championship come either the Royal Rumble or at the absolute latest, the Elimination Chamber. He cannot go into WrestleMania 41 as champion. He's just not it. He's been champion since SummerSlam, but still, I think if we get a good 5-month run out of him, that's fine. That's fair. And I do think that Seth Rollins is going to be the one who basically dethrones Gunther. It'll probably happen more so at, I would say with that, probably at the Elimination Chamber. And they might do a rematch at one of the next Saturday Night Main events. I know we got one next week, next Saturday. And then we should have another. Well, no, my bad. They're quarterly. My bad. They're every 3 to 4 months. My bad. I'm sorry about that. But Jey Uso comes out. So Jey Uso says that he wants to step up to Gunther. He wants to step up for the World Heavyweight Championship. He says Drew McIntyre's behind him. The Bloodline drama's behind him. So Jey Uso challenges Gunther. So he wants a shot at the world title at Saturday Night's Main Event. So Gunther's like, look, man, are you sure you want this? So Gunther smirks. He admits that he admires him for his courage. But he would be naive if he could hold that title forever. But Jey is more naive that he could take it off of him. So he makes it clear that they've wrestled twice when Gunther was IC champion, and Gunther beat him twice. He says that Jey Uso is capable of a whole lot less than Gunther is. He's funny and entertaining, that being Jey Uso. But when the bell rings, Gunther will expose him for what he is, a really talented tag team wrestler. And Jey is not on Gunther's level, which is main event. Main event is just the nickname for Jey Uso. Main event is the place where Gunther belongs, and Gunther tells him to stick to his yeet and stay out of championship business. Saturday night's main event is fine with him, but the choice is up to Jey. So Gunther then walks off. Jey Uso looks confused. Jey Uso tells Gunther to hold up. Jey Uso respects Gunther. Everything Gunther said is true. Jey Uso says he wakes up every morning betting on himself because he's still trying to earn respect. At Saturday Night's Main Event, Gunther will respect him when he beats his ass paws for the World Heavyweight Championship. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. Really good stuff there. Is Jey going to win? No, he's not. But I still do think that Seth Rollins is going to be the main one to take the title off of Gunther. If not Seth Rollins, it's going to be CM Punk. So one of those two are going to be the ones to take the title off of Gunther. Again, we have to wait and see. Moving on. Lyra Valkyria defeats Dakota Kai in a surprisingly good match here. She is now the new women's Intercontinental champion. She's now the inaugural women's champion. And this was great. This was great. Dakota Kai, she put some really good work in this match. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. Both women, laid it out on the line. Lyra put one via the Nightwing for the 1, 2, 3. There was a part in the match where Kai hit her finish, which is the go to H. My bad. The go to K, which is, her name. So Lyra rolled out the ring. She was able to mount a comeback. And then she ended up hitting the Nightwing for the 1, 2, 3. Makes perfect sense. So Adam Pearce comes out. He hands the title and puts it around the waist of Lyra Valkyria. And then Lyra and Dakota Kai, they both shake hands and they embrace for a brief second. And then Pyro gets off the air. So that's pretty cool. Moving on. Sami Zayn makes quick work of The Miz. He actually wins via the Blue Thunder Bomb. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? What kind of fuckery is this? What kind of sorcery is this? So, Sami Zayn, he wins, like I said, via the Blue Thunder Bomb. So that's interesting there. So then Braun Breaker was out there in the crowd. He got involved. No, he didn't get involved. He stared down Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn. No, never mind. My bad. I got it mixed up. Braun Breaker stared down Sheamus earlier on when he had his match with Ludwig. I'm sorry about that, guys. I apologize. So that's fine. And Braun and Sheamus are going to face each other at Saturday night's main event. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully there'll be some angles. Moving on. So Rhea Ripley, she's out next, and she puts over, how she's back on top once again. She says that mommy's always on top. She's the most dominant woman in the most dominant women's division in WWE, which is correct. So lame-ass Nia Jax comes out. And so, for whatever reason, she's throwing a temper tantrum. She makes fun of Bayley. She makes fun of Rhea. And she just wants a shot at Rhea's title, basically, it seems like. She's basically putting every champion on notice, from Tiffany Stratton to Rhea Ripley. She insults Bayley. Nia calls her BBL Bayley. And Bayley jumps the barricade. Her and Nia have some words. And then Bayley calls Nia a big dumb idiot. So Nia then shoves Bayley. She shoves Rhea. Rhea headbutts her. Nia headbutts her. And both of them beat the shit out of Nia Jax. So I assume this is probably going to set up a triple threat, probably at, I want to say, Saturday night's main event. Or they're probably just doing, my bad. They're probably just going to do Rhea and Nia at Saturday night's main event. That's probably what they're going to do. Main event of the evening. Damian Priest defeats Finn Balor in the street fight. So, Judgment Day, they came out, they got involved. There was a nasty Falcon Arrow spot through the table off the rafters in the crowd. That was crazy. The ref was about to end the match and stuff, but Damian Priest was like, nah, fuck that, we ain't doing that. So, he beat up Finn Balor. Judgment Day got involved. The War Raiders came out and they made the save. And then Damian Priest got the win via a South of Heaven chokeslam. He did, I think, like 4 of them in the match total, I think. And that was it. And Raw went off the air at about 10:30. Or maybe it was 10:35. But it was not 3 hours. So it was like 2.5 hours. So that's fine. It makes perfect sense. Thank the creator above that this lame-ass feud is finally over. And I think Finn Balor needs to be moved to SmackDown. Or, if you want to, put him on NXT. Seriously. I keep mentioning this. If this transport draft or whatever they're doing, whatever the fuck it's called, they need to make NXT believable. They need to make it a really good third brand. put Finn Balor back on NXT. He's been there before. Seriously. But Monday Night Raw was pretty decent. CM Punk entering the Royal Rumble along with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, that was great. Good stuff there. Penta debuting was phenomenal. That was excellent. Good stuff there. And Lyra Valkyria winning the Women's Intercontinental Championship was great. So she's now the inaugural champion. I'm pretty sure we'll see Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble. And that'll set up Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria for the women's IC title at WrestleMania 41. So good stuff. So Raw was pretty okay for this week. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.